The Call of the Abyss, Part 2, A World of Color in the Darkness. In the previous program,
My name is Jesus Fernandez Audarsetz. I am Swiss. I have lived in Colombia for 5 years, exploring the subterranean world that is still totally unknown in Colombia. We make maps of the caverns to have as a passport. Photographs, maps of these caverns that allow us to let people know that they exist, that there is this world of color here in the darkness.
Peñón, Santander, Colombia. Day 2.
Well, as you saw yesterday we went caving really hard and we employed all of the techniques at our disposal. It was a hard task, but a beautiful task, and also it's a sport where everything comes into play.
Todo entra en cuenta en el deporte, diremos, la técnica.
The technique, the physical, the mental. Also, your adrenaline is at 200%. It was a really cool tour in which we were able to enter a technical cavern. Today, we are going to enter another cavern on the other side, where we are going to see marvelous things that no one here in Colombia thought to find in these parts, in this other world. Really, we are going to enter a world of darkness, a world of color in darkness. This is, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful caverns in Colombia. When you go into a simple horizontal cavern, there can be landslides. There can be problems with gases. You can get into trouble by falling. Slip, fall, fracture something. You can get lost. The inertia inside the cavern is very frustrating. It is very complicated. Even if you're experienced, we've done long tours with a 3D mapping of the interior of the cavern. But this is why it's so important to have training. You don't become a cave diver overnight or with only a short 3-day course, thinking that you're now a cave diver. I needed almost 10 years to begin to explore alone. And the other caverns, the very technical ones, like the one we did yesterday, are caverns where you can have a rock fall on your head. There is the danger that the rope will break. There is the danger that a poorly done anchor will give way. And those are serious accidents, because the majority of the time it means death. The tour is going to be difficult as well. It is very long. It is more than 2.5 hours, walking through the mountains and the villages. And at this moment, we are moving towards a village, Aguas Frias. That's why it's named Coldwater. There are various small rivers, very cold rivers, that are approximately 11 degrees. Some of them disappear underground, and we find them again inside a cavern where the same river continues its route over 1.5 kilometers. All this sector is something special, like a big Swiss cheese, as we say in my country. And it is an adventure that we're going to start today.
A empezar.
The formation of caverns is always over a giant rock, which is called the karst, that we also call the karst in Europe.
También lo llamamos nosotros en Europa el karst y
And these formations are fractures that form in the terrain due to geologic forces, mainly water.
es el agua. Donde hay cavernas son zonas donde son.
Caverns typically form in areas where there is a very large amount of rainfall. As we've seen in the terrain of all these sinkholes, they are like funnels into the ground. These funnels let the water filter through. The water is acidic, and it starts the work of erosion. All of this erosion work, along with the fracturing of the plates and those geological processes, starts to build caverns. It is a very ancient process. Later, with so much water and time, our lifetimes are hardly a second in the life of a cavern. We are here in another village, the village of Aguas Frias, which is our destination. And at the same time, we will see a very large karstic forest. It is a watery region, approximately some 70 kilometers of karstic forest. This world of karst rocks, which one finds in the cavern in almost every hole, today, we're going to enter this world of color and darkness. We are almost approaching the last stretch of road to get there, and afterwards, we start making our way through forests and villages. Some trails are fairly difficult because GPS coverage in the region is very inadequate. GPS signal reception in this area is not very good, and we always have difficulty accurately pinpointing our location. The town of Peñón has a peculiarity. There are many other cities with beautiful things. I participate in many conferences about nature and about processes affecting farmers.
Conferencias sobre la naturaleza, sobre los procesos rurales para campesinos.
And Peñón, its particularity, is not only that it grows blackberries, yucas, or potatoes. Its particularity in Colombia is the caverns.
En Colombia son las cavernas. Es el único lugar actualmente en Colombia.
It is the only place in Colombia that has, within its territory, approximately more than 200 to 500 caverns. Well, here we go. Carefully, it's slippery. This place is exceptional. Let's say that the town of Peñón, with its wealth, with its population, with its farmers, also has a second world. It is an advantage which Peñón has to have two worlds, the rural world and the subterranean world. And this is unique in Colombia. This cave here is something marvelous. Imagine what we will be able to discover today. The only part is, it is urgent to preserve it, urgent to prevent just any person from entering, destroying, defacing, making a mess, or leaving trash in this cavern. It is currently the biggest threat. There are some people who think they can go cave diving, and they come in groups of 40, 60 people to tour a cavern in order to party with music, bringing food, making bonfires, leaving their trash inside.
Una caverna con la parranda, con música, llevando sancocho, haciendo fogata, dejando las basuras dentro.
These caves are the easiest to access. It is normal that the others would be untouched. Also, the whole scientific world is studying that cave. They come from Brazil in order to be able to do follow-up on global warming. Here we are, entering, and this let's go here for the first part of the way. Some caverns have water. Here we have caverns with rivers, underground rivers, which is why we only enter in summer when it's the dry season. The rest of the time you can't enter. It can flood in a few minutes up to the ceiling and you will drown or be completely washed away by the rushing water inside the cavern. That's why you have to learn caving and why it must be done with good people and also with good techniques. And it is something that induces a strong dose of adrenaline.
No. ¿Qué hizo allí? Usted se soltó, no estaba ni asegurado allí. Usted tiene 2 seguros, trabajar con 2 seguros. Usted no tenía dónde a sueldo y usted cambió del escalón al lado al otro sin tener amarrado a algún sitio. Usted se resbala, se va a la mierda.
We are hardly 300 meters inside the cave in total darkness.
en la oscuridad total.
Here, one realizes that here, below the earth, it is darker than the night. 100% darkness. There are two places on this planet where there's total darkness. Under the earth and in outer space. Here, we are doing this maneuver for you to realize the importance of having a good lamp, of having spare batteries, of knowing where we are going, how we are going, because being here without light, it is almost death. Here in this cave in Peñón, when you are 11 hours from the exit, if the flashlight fails and you do not come out, now, it's a miracle if you're able to get out of that. It is a sport. Maybe we could say that it's a very personal sport. It is a feeling. It is a life goal. It is a goal between friends. It is a lifestyle, isn't it?
Es una meta entre compañeros. Es una manera de vivir, ¿cierto?
There are many cave divers in the world who are better than me and who do wonderful things. That thanks to people like you, we can take leave of ignorance and darkness, you could say.
Ustedes salimos de vez en cuando del desconocimiento, de la oscuridad, podría decir.
We want to sensitize people that this underground world needs to be protected.
Hay que protegerlo. Y aquí llegamos en este momento.
And we've arrived at the moment in the world of darkness where there is color. I will show you the color. This world appears in front of you. The only thing of value is memory. I still have all the caves I've ever done. I see them in my head like it was yesterday.
Como si era ayer.
All of my adventures, my expeditions, everything I have is like a big hard drive. It's recorded, and that is something that is magic, because when I arrive outside, I enter the world of every other person, of everyone. But when I'm here, I am the only one below. That brief, beautiful moment that we are living here is due to millions of years of erosion and fractures. In this same cave, we saw parts of the roof collapsing. All of this falls apart. The wings and the galleries are growing. The water does the work with time.
Agrandando las alas, las galerías. El agua hace su trabajo con el tiempo.
As we have seen before, this droplet of water that goes here is being born at the tip of the stalactite and is falling.
Un estalactite y va cayendo.
Come and stand here for a minute to see this wonder.
Aquí un minuto para que vean esa maravilla.
This is unique in Colombia. There aren't two ceilings like this anywhere. Everywhere you can observe and look, you can see that it is hard. It is like skinny, crooked straws that defy the laws of gravity.
Eso desfía toda la ley de la gravedad.
Gravity normally occurs from the top down, but with changes caused by bacteria, changes in the acidity of the water, it can make it grow in completely different directions.
Sentido, otra dirección. Y eso
And to make a ceiling like this takes thousands of years, and it is very fragile, and we see divine shapes every time. In each cavern that we enter, we not only enter to explore, that's of no use.
Eso no sirve.
We work hand in hand with the World Federation of Cave Diving, and to make sure that this cave is valued and recorded, we do a first-time exploration,
Primera exploración y luego
and later we come again to do the topography. The topography allows us, with a laser, with a compass, and also an inclinometer, to be able to capture the layout in layers.
poder coger por graduación capas. Y al mismo tiempo voy sobre otra hoja que me ven y marco aquí los 4 metros de derrumbe.
We write, we draw out on graph paper each sector.
Dibujando así. Tengo ese esperotema aquí.
And here we have a particularity. If you look, it is very particular.
Es muy particular.
It looks like this drop is hanging in midair. It is something magic here. This droplet I saw grow big, like a drop of water in a faucet, in a tap.
Como una gota de agua en un grifo, en una llave de agua. Y eso tal vez metió.
And this maybe takes a year to fall. Every time this drop of water lands, it makes a deposit, and this deposit slowly creates all of this geologic part, all of this part of the rock, and it falls and creates another rock on the ground.
Y va cayendo y fabricando otra al suelo.
All of these limestones that are here, they were all built with the passage of time. Some are smaller, some larger. It's a whole different world of evolution below the earth.
De evolución de bajo tierra.
This here is also very beautiful. This speleothem. Stalactites, which come from above to below, like this little one, and stalagmites, like this one that comes from below to above, they're something incredible, because surely up there once was a big drip of water, and it accreted faster below than it did above.
Y lo fabrico más rápido abajo que fabricarlo arriba.
You have different types of speleothems, what we call gur, traperias, the drapery. We have some eccentricities that, due to changes in the acidity in the water, take on shapes that defy gravity and all logic. Anything can cause these shapes to deviate, and this is where scientists, like geologists, go crazy inside the cave. There are many things to study, to see how they evolve. Caverns are still alive. Many times, we think that a cavern is only a hole, but it's in a way alive.
Estas cosas a estudiar, a mirar cómo es la evolución. Y las cavernas siguen en vida. Muchas veces pensamos que una caverna es solo un hueco y es toda una vida.
Look here at this collapse. Everything that we see here on the ground was at one point stuck here on the ceiling.
Pegadas aquí en el techo, miran el techo, miran.
Look at the ceiling. Look at these draperies. They're called draperies when you have a stalactite that comes down.
Y al mismo tiempo una gota que viene del lado lateral siempre.
And at the same time, a drop that comes from the side, always from the same side. It's going to create something like a knife. It creates a type of blade that we call draperies. There are a number of shapes. It feels like we're under the sea, under a coral sea, and this is the coral of the caverns.
Coral del mar. Eso es el coral de las cavernas.
It's something totally different.
Totalmente diferente. Ven cómo
See how it shines. Each shape is different.
siempre.
Always, always, it is a joy to come here.
Se ve todo como eso y vas bajando para la oscuridad.
Well, for all caving enthusiasts, for all the people who want to see another world and who want to help us, they can support us by their presence, by making the effort to come here to live a 3-day or 1-week experience, or like some of our new friends here in Speleology, Colombia, for more than 2 years, following our projects and helping us. Here, we don't do any politics. There's no race, there's no color. Here, there's only a dark world with color inside.
No hay raza, no hay color. Aquí hay solo un mundo oscuro con color adentro.
Je voudrais partir jusqu'à la mer, m'allonger sur le sable, prendre un peu l'air, sentir les embruns, rester encore, rester jusqu'à m'en saler le corps. On serait juste toi et moi, près d'ici ou là-bas, sans règle